We're live. After those 2 or 3 bloopers.
Oh!
Hey, get it in there.
Come on now.
I'm working on it.
Who wants to
Jeez.
guess? Yeah!
Whoa.
It's Flaming Lips.
Woo! Love that band.
Well, that
There's a nice set of lips, guys.
was just incredible. Chris's mic. All right. Here we are, folks. This is the gathering point. This is show number 301.
First one of 2025.
The first show of 2025. Everything's in order and fashionably on time and ready to go. And we're going to start the year with Michelle being on the pipe after Chris just finished up that flaming set of molten lips.
Because you got to start off the year hot.
That's what we do. But this is it, folks, the gathering point, and we're getting into the 300th shows, which
Beep,
we've
beep.
come a long way. I hope you guys enjoyed that beautiful, amazing yearly recap video that Roland did. And here he is over here,
Yeah,
folks.
give a shout out to everyone.
Give him a wave. He's doing some behind-the-scenes action today. You got Bess over here. She's back in the house. Bess hasn't been here in about 5 months, but we're happy to have her back. It's really a beautiful thing. We got Chris.
What's happening, everybody?
We got Lucy and Sarah over there getting it done. You guys know 50% of that party, but you get to learn the other percent. Oliver's behind the camera for this warmer-upper. My name's Jacob, and it's go time. So, what are you making?
I am making drinkware, the theme of the show. I am making a glass that represents the tour that we did last Friday. We went out and did some market research and had some cocktails and different drinks, observed the audience, thought about our bar and what we want to do. And one of the glasses that I noticed that is a fan favorite is glass that has bubbles in it. So I'm going to do my take on that with a lap gather
Ooh.
on recycled glass.
Okay.
Years ago, we did a vase called the picnic vase. And it was a small little vase with this really solid bottom so that you could set it down on a picnic table, and the idea was to hold your tablecloth down and that it wouldn't fall over. So this is a mix of the picnic vase and the bubble in the bottom. And I caught a cold, my ears are popping, so I can't hear very well.
So a little more context for everybody when she's talking about market research. If you're new to the show, we've been doing this for about 4 years now. We're coming up, I think this is our 5th year of doing this show. That's insane to think about. But meanwhile, the rest of our business is flowing effortlessly and functioning beautifully behind the scenes. And we've now, which our members have
Want me to
seen a
cap it?
lot of good content around, we've now come really close to the opening of our beverage counter, where we'll be serving drinks, cocktails, you know, smoothies, coffee. Everything that's not extremely hot will be served in a handmade glass by our team here at the Glass Academy in Dearborn, Michigan. And Michelle's mentioning how we went out and did some market research. And it was a really tough job. We were out there grueling. You know,
Another cocktail.
Yep, just trying to figure out the situation and understand the market, understand our avatar, and what the deal is. So this was inspired from that trip. And by lap gather, you'll see over at our recycle furnace, Michelle's about to take that full bubble, which is pretty cold. If she goes in too late, it'll crack and fall off. But she's very intentionally dunking glass on just the bottom half of this bubble. That's going to leave a lot of thickness down there, but leave the top half thin and drinkable so your lips fit on there nicely. And I think she did that exactly perfect. She's got a beautiful bubble trapped in there like she wanted. And these might become a really cool one-of-a-kind glass to have some thickness on the bottom, but also be able to keep your true thinness up there. That's one of the toughest things to do about encasing color pattern to bring multiple gathers of glass together is keeping your glass at a functional thin diameter up in the lip zone.
So when we get the beverage counter open, we're going to do like speed dating. We're going to do some other things, other events here. And what I wanted to do is have something like when you're bored, you're speed dating and that guy's a drag. You can look at your glass and daydream about the bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Fall deep into the depths.
Deep
Yep,
into the
I can
depths.
relate to that. You know, you're speed dating and that girl's a drag.
I'm 100%.
You never know.
I mean, we all know it doesn't go perfectly smooth when you're speed dating every single time.
Do we know?
Yeah.
I
I'm
know.
so glad I don't have a mic.
Oliver's happy he doesn't have a mic. So my question is, I like the clarity of seeing that bubble inside. The question now is where to put the GA stamp.
I would let it cool down and torch, or even punny it up, flip it around, open it up, and then torch straight into the hot
On
stuff.
the bottom.
Yeah, right in the thick stuff.
In the thick
No,
stuff?
on the side, yeah.
Okay.
This is a really cool design already. This is kind of like, could fill a lot of gaps in drinkware that we're gonna need to recreate for the bar that is functionally not as difficult as making a crazy Venetian goblet. It's recreatable, and each one can be a little bit different, but if it's got that thickness and it's got those flat
Punty?
facets and it's got that crease
Yeah, I'm
in
going
the
to stamp
middle,
it first.
You don't want to
second
stamp it
layer
yet.
of glass,
What?
Why?
they would all be in
Because
the
it'll
same
melt away.
ballpark, and that
Do it
would
at
be
the
a
end.
recreatable
All right, let's
item
do a
for the
punny.
bar. If that makes sense to everybody listening. I don't know, I was kind of rambling.
You are. It's okay.
Bess, what's the deal in the chat, and what's going on with everybody that we haven't seen or heard from in so long?
Yeah, so we've already got a lot of people tuned in. We've got Dana says, hey, everyone from Georgia. Vicky says, hello from Seattle. Donna says, hey, everyone. Mary Lou says, hi from PA. Pat says, evening, everyone from Shelby Township. Carol says, hi from Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. Loretta says, hi, everyone. Burr, baby, it's cold outside. Yes, it is. It's about 18 degrees
cold.
here, windy, a little cold.
Yeah.
Hannah says, hi, everyone from Sweden. Mary says, I'm so happy that you guys are back. It seemed like you were gone for a year. I was having withdrawals.
Seriously, Mary.
Over on the YT side, Amy says, let there be lips.
Let there be lips.
So I'm thinking a very thin gold lip wrap, please.
Okay.
Thin gold lip wrap.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
I feel like that blower is getting louder and louder.
It's pretty loud in my headphones.
I know. I thought it was my ears, but my ears just popped.
Well, I got a call out to the blower man. And I've been talking with him already, and you know, when do you think this hole was built, Dad? Tell us the story, the birth of this device.
This particular 12-inch diameter glory hole with the Giberson burner on it and a squirrel cage motor. That was built
Wait,
in
wait.
1991,
It cracked
folks. That's
funny.
right. How many years is that ago?
91 would
Yep.
be
Like 50 years ago.
33,
33,
coming up on
34.
34.
Yep, that's about how long
me a
ago it was
second to
built. And it has been doctored up, and the new burner port's been replaced many times, and the burner and the blower, and this blower is getting to the point where it needs to be replaced. It's probably just pushing a lifespan of a squirrel cage motor. It's about 5 years. This one's pushing like 12 or 15. So Jake knows how to take care of that. He's gonna get that going. Ooh, nice looking lip wrap.
No, it's not. Usually I get a lip wrap from behind. I don't know what that was.
What was that, Jake?
Not what I was expecting, but I'll work with it.
And that is an example of the different styles of glass blowing, folks. You know?
All for the camera.
Yep.
Trim it.
So we're going to open it up here. We're going to get back into the swing of things. You guys let us know how you thought about the 300 show and your opinions on that. It was a pretty fun time for us, firing up the big hole and getting the live music going and having an in-house audience. It was, you know, something to experiment with. That'll be the third, I think, time that we've had live music, and that was a blast. Having something to jam to and blow glass to is an honest treat.
It was fun to watch.
So-
I had it on at my grandma's for a while.
Yeah. It was cool. It's a pretty sweet pieces, too. That giant goblet's insane. Also, the members, our subscribing members, have been introduced to Lizzie, who's going to be our membership concierge. And she's reached out to you guys, and anyone who has questions about membership can reach
can
out
you do
to us,
reduction?
can get answers from her,
Reduction.
and can get help with your account and your subscription and everything else going on there.
So it's in recycle. There's a mountain bubble in it. The recycle is darker than I thought, so it's a little tricky to see.
I love the shape and the size of the glass, though.
It's going to feel so good
It's
in
gonna
your
get
hand.
really good weight.
And also the other consideration is after talking to some of the bartenders, it's not fragile.
Yeah, not at
And
all.
Right? So it can sit on the shelf. It's not going to crack or break.
It's a beautiful glass.
What kind of drink do you think would go in that glass?
White Russian.
White Russian.
Something that's like more of an aperitif, like or port wine, mead. Something light that you don't want a ton.
Maybe something like a
I guess one
a
more.
Mercarita,
Mercarita.
Merc level 2.
It's a margarita made out of mercury.
Yeah. I think that would even be nice for some like liquor straight up, like
That's
people
like
that
a
order
tequila or
a
something.
tequila, double tequila. It doesn't need to be full to the top.
But it could be full of that.
But yes, it could.
Any knives in this joint?
No knives, nope. But I do have this for you. Yeah. That's the little
Oh.
subtle difference between glass blowers coming from shop to shop. You know, Michelle doesn't blow a lot of glass in here. She's more of a designer, marketer, and handler of all the things at this studio at this moment in time. But when other glass blowers go to other studios, even the littlest things, like I'm usually expecting to have my knockoff tool, the butter knife, sitting right on the knockoff bench ready to go. Those extra lost moments, it's a thicker, nice piece here, so there's not worried about time as much for something like that. But if we were to get into the goblet making a little bit later here, and then you've got a tool missing at the exact moment you're ready to knock it off, that could lead to treachery.
Now, what about the other exact? What if you had someone who leaves tools at the knockoff station, like they
If someone leaves tools at the knockoff station,
like tools that travel from other places and end up at the knockoff station?
well, you should have seen the knockoff station the other day.
I literally ran out of tweezers on here because it was 4 pair. Every time I got up, I left it there.
You
I
had
mean,
4 of them lined up right on the last piece of the day.
It was an extreme brain fart situation.
So you're going for this one? Are you drawing anything up, or are you just going for it?
You want me to draw something up?
You got a plan? Because I got a plan if you don't.
Yours isn't drawn, and I already started. So could you heat that up for me, and I'll draw mine up? Come on over here, Ollie.
Okay. While Chris starts drawing, can I do one thing and pop over to these? So we see what's on the show tonight? Because the photographs were a little dark. And these colors are really vibrant. So I want to make sure everyone sees the goodness. You can't really photograph that. Look at that. Stunning. We got purple. This one's called the pineapple. All right, and I want to give a shout out to Roland. You guys saw the best of 2024. If you guys could put in the chat your favorite part. Roland took some liberties and did some really good editing. My favorite was the song Taps, when Chris was whistling Taps. to have the flag come over. The video was pretty amazing.
All right, so I'm gonna go into this brand new purple. We've never used this color before, folks. I mean, we used it 1 or 2 times before the break, but this is another experimental color application. I'm not gonna tell you what color it is, but I would like you to know that we're interested in looking for a partnership with our color distributor.
What I do notice right now is that while I was drawing the piece that's going to be made, Jake started up, so he's got to make the piece that I drew.
Oh!
There you go.
Is that a ring in the middle, a Saturn ring?
Yeah.
Like not a trail, like a...
El Bumpe Ram Jam.
Okay.
Saturn ring, yep. And then just some organic
Thank you.
pinch
Craziness.
tendrils coming out of the side of the stem.
What kind of tendrils?
Organic pinch tendrils.
When we ate dinner today, Jake looked at all of us and said, let's keep the goblet simple today.
That's about as simple as it gets, guys.
So do you want to take this purple over then and do that? Or would you like me to do mine?
Well, yeah. Thanks.
All right.
I guess mine will be purple.
2 minutes ago, Chris just said, I've been blowing all day. You lead.
This is a tiny little gather here.
Goblet night.
Jeez. The pipe feels tiny because I was blowing with giant pipes all day. This thing feels like I got a twig in my hand.
What was the biggest size of wall art that you were making today?
25 inches, I think,
25-inch piece.
diameter. It's a pretty big boy.
So if we bring out our extendo ruler, this is 25 inches. That's a pretty big wall item. They were taking some massive gathers.
Well, it's in a big warehouse.
All right, so you're hitting me with some benchy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, so Mary commented she loves the above camera. So let's pan over to where that camera was. See that ladder? Yeah, that's where the camera was. So we are trying out different things. 2025 is going to bring, now that we've got Roland on team, he can help us understand how the cameras work better. What kind of tech, what kind of sound we can hook up to. Bought a couple pieces of equipment.
Lightly blow, Jake.
But they need some cords we
Keep
didn't
going.
have.
Good.
So we're just trying some other camera stuff tonight. See where it leads us.
All right.
So this is going to be the member, or yours was the members piece, which will be up and for sale to the members once you give Bess that information. This is going to be the first piece that's available
Stem?
to the public. And you can already tell
How
our
about gold?
traditional deep, dark power purple has a different hue than this does here. And I'd love your guys' opinion before we give ours on this color as we get throughout the day. And I'll try and use it in a couple different ways, blow it out thin, keep it thicker, and we can analyze it. Put it with white and see kind of how it comes out differently. But I know exactly 2 colors that it seems like a mix right in the middle between.
It's a really pretty nice coat, too. It's that 00.
Yeah, that was like 2.5 schmacks. So here comes Oliver going into the traditional gold. And I'll remind everyone that this is an opportunity and a show about crowd engagement. And if you guys have questions about the color, the glass, the material, the process, let us know what you're thinking, and Bess is going to be monitoring that chat. And I'll try and keep it from the beginning. Coming into a new year, we could kind of restart with all the basic information once again, I kind of feel like.
I do know that the perps with the gold is a gorgeous combination.
It's classic.
Somebody I was just with, I went to the Red Wings game with Julie the other night, and she was talking about the perp.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me right in the audience. It was beautiful.
So this is some sort of application. You see, Oliver brought that over. It's never going to be as hot as when he pulls the clear right out of the tank. Because he came over here, he took that walk. It was cooling down on the way. He loaded up some gold on there. But he kept it really symmetrical and nice, while also bringing it over with enough heat that Chris has got enough time in this moment to sculpt and shape this stem with a little sphere in the middle.
Michelle, your mic's off. Mike.
All right, never mind. My mic wasn't on. I was talking about this camera is attached to a chair. So we're just trying to figure out different angles we could put the phones at. So yeah, keep it up in the chat.
Jake, I'm loving this new purple.
Yeah.
Is that the hue it's going to stay after it cools down, or is it going to get more pink? Does it stay like that?
I wonder if the two trees, I mean, we haven't been open, so I bet you I can go out into the gallery amidst this show and grab a tree of our traditional dark perps and our new perps, and that will answer your question.
The
Okay, Jake, on.
waffle wine cup on display for tonight's show, which one was that?
I
Lighten
will turn my focus to the table. Number 6. Number 6 is our traditional deep super perp. It's the SP edition.
So Rachel has a question.
Bring it.
Rachel says, how long does glass stay flexible after taking it out of the glory hole?
That's a really good question, Rachel, and a difficult one to answer because there's so many different variables to the way things go down. But the biggest
Purple foot.
one is how much of your core, well, not the biggest one, but one of these is how much of your core heat from the furnace is still there. Oliver still had good core heat in that because all he did was put some color on it, keep it round, and go for the heat. But if you're spending time over here shaping something and rolling it on the metal and it loses that core heat, and you've got to go into the hole and reheat it back up from the outside in while the pipe in the middle is pulling out heat, it's never going to be the same viscosity as what came out of the furnace.
You know, the way someone described it to me, and it totally made sense, was think of a grape. Like you can bust into a grape and the inside is all juicy, but it's got that outer skin. You want to work the glass when it's all consistent.
I'm going to bring that right over here, Oliver.
After you work the glass a little while, you're only reheating like a skin surface. They get different temperatures.
Is that good?
Yep.
Two things I'll say real quick. One, the members only piece is available to those Loyalty League supporters through that link you guys were emailed. And that was the glass that Michelle took the lead on a little bit earlier.
Super cool design.
Also, table will be going live in 5 minutes, so if you guys have your eye on any of those beautiful glasses on the table, get ready for that because that'll be coming up soon.
To back it up about 2 mentions of conversation ago, the other thing about the grape comment is that
Good.
we are in the midst of, we just had 4 pallets of color delivered today, of cullet, of our traditional glass cullet,
Punty.
which is just regular clear chunks and pieces. They look like ice cubes, and we had to decide. There's been a tough dilemma in the industry where these guys have rehauled their furnace and they've just restarted production again. And
The production company, the glass
the
production.
glass production company out of Mexico, and glass prices have gone up. It's like about 17%, maybe 18% that the price per bag, per pound of cullet has gone up since our last purchase earlier last year. So that's been a new addition, and we just bought 4 more pallets, and that was a pretty big start of the year. You know, let's get this out of the
Investment.
way investment, and that's going to hopefully last us maybe, you know,
June.
a year and a half, you know, hopefully get us through some time. But we also have experimented with and tried and bought a half pallet of each of a new style of glass, a pelletized in between
Give it a quick flash.
raw sand material and pre-melted once cullet chunks. So the cullet's at a premium because they've melted it once and they've taken the time to chop it down and present it to you. It melts quicker. The raw material, now we're just going to pause for a moment to watch this happen.
Hold that thought.
Holding. Nice.
You are an obstacle in the way there, my friend.
I wasn't in the way.
Yes, you were in the way.
Oliver was expecting it.
You just were expecting my to you earlier.
Touche. So then you got the premium of the solid already melted glass, and then you've got the raw sand material. And this is a new style of mixture of something in between the two. And it's a comparable rate to what we used to be using, and we're going to give that a shot. You guys are going to hear all about it, but...
Next time you need props, I want to see pictures of what you're talking about.
All right, I can bring over some props.
Okay.
I'll bring over a couple grapes, pieces of cullet, and the little vial of the stuff. I'll go grab
And
that.
after this piece, I want to open a Coke and pretend that it's red wine, because some of these glasses are going to look phenomenal when you pour beverages in them, and I want to show that off.
You're sure you just don't want to drink a Coke?
Both. But after that, so what we'll do is we'll go to the table. Oliver can film it.
Oh.
And you can run and get your supplies. No, he's running. He's hoofing it. No one cleaned the tweezers before the show.
It's horrible when you got wax on your tweezers, guys. Especially
Oh,
when
it
you're
is
blowing
the worst.
cups. Because you don't have very many chances to do it. So we're going to get a second chance now. Try to pull this out so I can get it nice and long. And then, Oliver, take a look at the top and look what that top looks like. And that's what you're going to be prepared to be doing for me.
You better prepare.
I think you're doing the wrap is what he's getting at. It was a great communication.
Frank has a question over
No
on
wraps
IT.
needed.
What has he got?
Nothing yet, but I'll tell you when. It's going to be a ring that we're doing with the jacks.
So Frank says you mentioned that the frit for the purple you're using is 00. Is there a size frit that you normally use?
Is there a classic size we like using? No, we have ranges. We range from, and we probably have like of jars of different colors and different sizes of those colors that we like. We probably have, Oliver, would you say like 100?
Out of like the total amount of jars that we have.
Our inventory, yeah. How many jars do we have with glass in them?
Oh gosh, it's probably close to like 180.
180. Oliver does all the inventory for that. I'll make the purchase. He double checks it, and vice versa when it's time to order. But the size completely depends on the product, and there's such a big difference between a 00, that's almost a powder, and a size 0. That's right in between, and it depends on how much you're stretching the glass, moving it, swirling it, where you want the color to last.
If you want like spots on it, if you want texture.
And that is, we've come a long way since I've been home in the last 5 years, but those 180 colors have ebbed and flowed since the creation of this company with my parents back in like 1991 or whatever, when that hole was built. You know, and we're also a shop that prides themselves on frit techniques. I don't know very many other glass shops that have such an array and use them in such different contrasting ways to make creative one-of-a-kind designs. A lot of glass blowers use bar color exclusively for that beautiful, smooth color palette.
I mean, like, there's a time and place for any frit size when you're using it, but like, everyone knows 0's best.
That's Oliver's opinion.
Nothing, Oliver?
Like 0's the best, and that's an expressed opinion of the Glass Academy.
I would back him up and say, though, if the question behind, who was it, Frank?
Yes.
If the underlying thought behind Frank was, if I were to buy one new size of one color to see what it was like and how it worked, and if I liked it, what size should I get? Then I agree with Oliver and say size 0 is that size.
But you know what? Olympic Color Rods has color packages.
Yes.
And they can give you a couple like bar color.
Testers.
You know, the thing is you got to test out what color
look at
you
that.
like, what your aesthetic. It's kind of like going to the clothing store. Do you buy patterns? Do you buy solids? What type of clothes do you wear?
Right.
You know, you're going to build your aesthetic.
And we do have an aesthetic. There's our pelletized, there's our premium cullet. Up 18%, same old price. Takes twice as long to melt.
So your
compared to
gas
this.
costs would be more.
Gas costs and time and labor spent melting that, having someone stick around for an extra 4-hour shift after our 8-hour shift to then fill the furnace back up, you know? But the reason I brought it all up is the grape concept. And I was reading about Glasma, and one of the things I've read is that it stiffens up and gets that skin on it faster than other colors. It may still be moving, but if you go for like the slugs to do our tweezer pull, it might be stiffer on the surface like a grape and still hot on the inside.
And you want to talk about crystal at all? Like when Lino went to Corning Museum of Glass and was able to blow crystal, it has lead added to it, which makes it softer and it holds its heat longer.
Right.
So where traditionally he'd stand up to reheat,
Taking
the
a
glass
couple
was still
purple
hot
little
and he
bits
didn't have
for the
to.
handle things, just a glob I'll put on the side.
And it's my understanding that lead, just for the pros of having lead in the glass and making it an easily carvable
You can
glass
reheat,
and a
I'll
longer
take half of
lasting
it and then
glass
reheat the other half.
didn't outweigh the health repercussions of burning and melting with lead in the studio. So that's why that's kind of became, with regulations in America, less of a trend. And really the glass that we use is still crystal clear, beautiful glass. The only difference is it doesn't have lead in it.
Yeah.
Great
Beautiful.
question, Frank. That was a long tangent.
Pam
Excited to make my
says,
piece.
sorry. Pam says, is Mexico the only place you can get glass?
No, there's a few different other spots. They do it in Germany, they make it. I believe, where's Glasma's from Sweden. Where is...
Spruce Pine is down in
Pine's in
North
North Carolina. I'm ready when you are,
I thought
Oliver.
there was one in like the Czech Republic or something.
Leave it balled up. You want me to pull it out so it's still
I do want to mention
No,
the
balled
table
up's fine 'cause I'm just putting it
is
on hot
now
and gooey.
live.
Live table.
Live
It's
table.
alive!
That is stemless wine glasses for the people. Functional, new color designs.
Oh, wait, that's not stemless anymore.
Well, not
You
this
can just
one, the ones on
reheat
the
this
table.
now.
Oops, sorry, Oliver.
And then, Jake, whenever you're ready, I have another glass question for you.
I'm ready.
All right, so Rachel says, talking about
Simple.
heat, why is it so important to cool glass slowly? How fast would it crack if you just let it cool on the table?
Yeah, that's another awesome question, and it's cool the longer. I mean, we've been doing these for 300 shows now, and I know people come and go, and if you guys are new to the chat, or even if you're within 5 episodes, say something in the chat. Let Bess know who you are. Let's get familiar with your name and that you're watching and kicking it with us. But who was that asked that question?
Rachel.
Is that Rachel from Sweden, I think, or something?
No,
No, different Rachel?
it's just Rachel.
Well, Rachel, you're a champion. That's a great question. Very technical question. What was the question again?
Are you serious?
Talking about heat, why is it so important to cool glass slowly? How fast would it crack if you just let it cool on the table?
Yeah, that depends on the thickness of the glass and how it's cooling down. And if you can, for example, one polar of the spectrum is certain glass blowers that have bought a mobile unit or are doing mass production of hand-blown ornaments can actually cool them down with just the heat of the furnace on a conveyor belt next to the furnace.
You need a reduction?
So it starts at 2,000, you set it up on the conveyor belt.
Yep.
When it's done, about 1,200, and then by the time a couple minutes goes by, it slowly brings it down to room temperature, and that relieves all the stress because it's so thin. But for example, if you were making like a giant paperweight, you know, that was the size of a basketball, we might have to cool that down for a week. And that's because of the core temperature holding there. It doesn't all cool equally. That's what allows it to relieve the stress, is equal
Do you want to
cooling.
tell her about tempered glass?
Yeah, and then tempered glass is when you rapid cool it. Let's just pause for admiration. That's pretty unique. Those are kind of looking like seahorse fins on the back there. So you can notice Chris's amazing handiwork, that ring in the middle, but also notice that purple and what hue that purple might have that's a little non-traditional.
I'm putting the GA stamp right on the bottom, guys. It was a little too fragile to put a glob of GA stamp on there, so it's going right in the center and the bottom. And Oliver's got her going away.
That's tight, and I love that purple.
That was cool.
That's
That purple's
cool.
beautiful.
With that random action on the side.
Yeah.
Steady hand, Oliver. Nice work.
Woohoo!
Oh, yeah.
And with that,
Nice bits, my friend.
ding, 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 ding.
Ring the bell, guys.
Oh, you
Did
took
you
my
watch the
fun.
recap show?
I've watched most of it. I didn't get to see the very tail end. Which part are you talking
I'm talking about that beautiful moment. I hope you all watched the 2024 recap video. If not, it should be right on the top of our YouTube page. But that beautiful moment when you were jamming the glass in that mold.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That was a good one.
That was hilarious, Oliver.
This is a good time to say thanks, Roland. Appreciate that. That's good.
There were some good moments in
awesome.
there. All right,
Or
want to
the
go?
end of the furnace. That was amazing, too.
And the first was really nice. Yeah.
Oliver, you want to come to the table with me?
Enjoy it over there, folks.
All right. You can grab one and show them. I'll get a beverage.
So these are new designs and styles, folks, that we're potentially going to be adding onto the website. It's been a couple years since we've rehauled our stemless wine glass color pattern. So we want to know, we want market research from you all via your dollars, but also just like every other time we ask your opinion in the chat and via the giveaway email. We want to know what you guys like.
Look at that, should be like they should be sponsoring us.
Yeah,
But
that's
the reason I
beautiful.
wanted to show is see how like when you pour the beverage in, how the colors totally change,
Yeah.
right? They were nice and neutral, a little hard to see, but then when the beverage is in them, it's totally different.
The iris really
Yeah.
comes out.
So that's one. I could do, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like this one, this was Sarah's favorite, and I think she's like, it's like the Southwest. Like, look at that movement. Really hard to photograph that in one image. But this one's heavier, feels really good in your hand. That's a nice ice cube beverage in there.
Gotta talk about that one.
Yeah, that's the Michigan Room Blue. It's an iridescent blue. These are all raised. Just stunning. It's got a nice grip to it. These are one and dones, so that we're testing out some new colors. And then this one is our traditional waffle wine cup, but there's a light pink on it. I will rinse these all out as you buy them, do not worry. But again, I like how the beverage, see how it shows up that pink? So it's like 2 for 1. You know, if you had Sprite in it or something that was light colored, you wouldn't see that. But with something darker, you do. Lovely.
Super nice.
Cheers.
I will turn my mic back on so that we have a mic on because it got real quiet there for a second. Hello,
A little
everyone.
sugar water. Bess, you want to tell them, Oliver, when you're done, the question tonight as well?
Yeah, so tonight's question is, do you have any tattoos? To elaborate on that, do you have any tattoos? If so, what style? If not, would you want one? If you don't have any, is there anything holding you back from getting one? Do you think that tattoo art is a valid art form? Share your thoughts. So you're going to share your answer to enews@glassacademy.com. Make sure you send us an email with your answer and your name because we want to know who you are so that we can tell you when you win.
Who are you?
Who are you, Jake?
So I'm going for another coat of, I'm going to do a similar, this will be my own design of goblet, but a very similar style of thickness and color density. However, we're going to use our older purple, which might even still be the reigning purps. I'm not sure. We're going to have you guys vote upon it. But the same amount of coatage as I did for Chris's, because I did start that one up, I'm going to do for ours. And this is what I call 2.5 schmacks. And if you take a peek at the drawing down here, we're keeping it simple, but it's going to have a pretty technical cup top. Similar to how Chris did that ring up there, I'm going to do what's called a...
No way.
What's it called again?
You know,
No,
cook caramel in?
Sinferico. No? Chris can remind me. I was thinking about it all day. I was saying it in my head, and it was sounding weird. Glass blowers, unite, help.
Explain what you're trying to think of.
We're going to be making this textured bottom. What's that called again, Dad?
Mezzostampo.
That's right.
You were close.
Mezzostampo. That stands for what in Italian?
Broken, it's a broken optic.
Okay. So we'll be using the 12-point optic mold to do this, and it's a very particular and sized up super tech. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's pretty rewarding in the end. So I got my purple in there. We're going to blow a bubble in it. I think I got a little more glass than I need, but I guess it's better than the other way around.
Oh, so you're going to do the Oliver move? There's your chance, Oliver.
Man.
The Oliver move, that's tough.
2025 is going to be my year, everybody. Just you wait. Just wait till I have to hit a mold.
What is the Oliver mood? Is it the Ram Jam?
That's-
I do it all the time.
He was just
It
trying to fit
happens,
some
man.
solid
It
glass
happens.
into the mold, and it was dripping all over the place. If you guys saw it in the chat, give Oliver some love. He's come a long way in 2 years.
Yeah, officially 2 years now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Beth,
crazy.
Will you ask them the question again?
Yeah,
Yes.
so the question for today is, do you have any tattoos?
New
If so,
tattooer.
what style? If not,
Got a
would
new
you want one?
Yeah.
What's holding you back if
Clear over the
not?
top.
Do you think tattooing is a valid art form? Send your answer to our email at enews@glassacademy.com.
That tattoo of Jake's.
Michelle wanted me to mention that what she was showing was Jake's new tattoo.
It's true. It's my new tattoo. Lucy got one as well. We went together. It was really nice. It's a good bonding experience.
Does,
Local tattoo
does
artist.
everybody out there remember Tattoo?
What?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
What Tattoo? The guy who he saw the plane coming all the time? The plane! The plane! Boss! The plane is coming, boss. I think a lot of people out there watching knew that it was Fantasy Island. But now our TV stations have their own
Too big?
Fantasy Island. Like Dating Island, all this other stuff. Nothing like the old school real Mr. Rourke in the Fantasy Island action when dreams came true with a twist. It was right there packaged together with the Love Boat. Might have been. So he's into the optic mold, and it's only putting the ridges on that fresh, hot piece of crystal that he put on there, which looks great. That went in really nice. Now Oliver's going to be blowing into the end of the blowpipe while Jake's working on this, right?
Yeah, in a moment. I'm going to take a couple of heats here to kind of line up all this action and tighten up the edges. So I really want to get it to be a
Uniform optical base.
experience.
There you go.
Why are you doing that manual style, Jake? Why didn't you just ram jam it harder? Like you
Whoa.
just had a really good video showing you how to do it.
That's a fact.
Well, what's going on? What's the deal?
All I'm doing is learning. Learning from what's happening.
What he's doing right now, guys, is he's actually, this is Chris on the camera. Somehow I got lucky and Michelle drove the bus in the other direction and gave me the camera. But he's lining up those ridges from the optical mold so that they're all even and lined up correctly about at the 1/3 point of the bottom of that piece.
Yeah, that's where I would have liked it to be, but I think it's about the 50% point.
Well,
and I'm
all
gonna figure
you
it
do
out.
super trim, pull it out real far, and it'll be real nice. But this is what he's doing right here, guys. Take a peek. That's the bottom of the cup is going to have those optical ridges. Obviously, it's going to have the perp going on. But he's still, and this is a really, really technically Venetian difficult process to do. But once he starts getting it, there's a few things that I know that he might not know, but he might. About pulling the bottom out, pulling all the glass out of the bottom when you're blowing it?
Because it's too thick down there?
No, because you want to bring the optics down and close them up so you have a nice defined optic all the way to the point where you cut it off with your jacks and diamonds.
So considering this circumstance where I didn't really hit the bottom of the mold very strong, maybe I could just neck a ball right down to that optic there.
Well, you just thin it out. The sides are the same thickness all the way down. So if you're having Oliver blow a little bit as you're pulling the bottom out, it'll bring those sides out, and then you neck it down and connect them, just like when you do an optical twist cup. But rarely when you do that, you usually end up with something just like that, but you're not even going to use that bottom half of the bubble. Looks great, though.
Start blowing. Stop. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like the right way to do it. Right now, what I've done so far, I feel like I missed a step or something. But
you grab a hold of the bottom, pull it out with the tweezers, use your diamonds as he's blowing, just heat the bottom and blow that bottom out.
Okay.
Oh, Jake's he's taking a workshop. He got into a really cool workshop with
Hello?
a very renowned glass blower who's a friend of ours. Now you use the jacks on it, and you take it down as he's blowing it. Beautiful.
Blow harder.
See that? There.
Keep it going.
Push back with
Stop.
your jacks to keep, while you're doing it, you push the jacks back into the bottom, and it keeps the bottom thick. And go down to the fat part of the jacks. But that looks great. He's taking a glass blowing workshop out in Seattle at Pilchuck.
Blow.
Jury show.
Stop. Jury.
I got juried in.
Oh. Yeah.
The jury's out.
Blow. Stop.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people sign up, and they only let 10 people in this course. And they may be 30, 40, 60 people who try to get into the class, and you have to send slides and fill out, just like most special workshops that are very technical workshops when it comes to crafts in general. And you get chosen, and he got chosen for sure to be in the class, which is going to be an amazing experience for him. Michelle and I did a lot of those classes a long time ago when we were first starting out our careers, and that's how you learn different techniques.
Good.
So it's great that he got into the class.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. I'm really looking forward to it. You guys will hear all more about that as the time approaches for sure. So we got the bottom cleaned up really nice, and honestly, it turned out, Blow. Good. A lot nicer than I was expecting. But look at that purple in comparison to the last purple. You see how we kind of got this spider web, clear, glassier looking scallop situation down on the bottom, which looks pretty good.
What color you want the stem?
If we're comparing colors, I'd rather not distract from the purple as much. I think we do a gold stem just like yours was.
Just do the same color. Maybe you should put the same little handles on there too.
Nah.
Huh?
Just do the exact same thing, Jake. Just
Nah.
do what Chris did, but do it again.
Well, I mean, are you gonna put the same foot on?
Footing tool foot?
Yeah, that footing tool foot, the footing tool side I used was primed perfectly.
Yeah.
I just have a couple comments I want to read, not necessarily questions. Jeanette says, I sat down this evening to enjoy a glass of wine in my Glass Academy purple and iridescent golden goblet you made for me a few years ago, and here you are on YouTube making a similar one. Very cool.
All right.
Let's see here. Cincinnati Drew says, I can't wait to start glass blowing. This looks like so much fun. I just do stained glass, but always wanting to expand my knowledge in the glass arts. Thank you for sharing your art with us. Let's see.
So I've been really enjoying the feel and the comfort and the functionality of using a little bit shorter of a wine glass. Still delicate, still handmade and delicious, but I'm not trying to make an extendo stem. All right, squish. So I'm gonna get this tucked in, squish a little harder. And I'm gonna pull this out, thank you. Ow.
Does that mean take the paddle away, or does that mean my jack slipped off? Whoa.
That was rowdy.
purple foot, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I assume correctly.
But we got a really nice even proportion stem situation right here lined up. What would you like to say?
I'll repeat it, or one of us will.
This area here, I'd like to put wood or something because it's so busy back there that when we're filming this, if there was a solid background, it would be a nice space.
I agree. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so we're saying that for our tool bench here, how it has like the open legs that you can see through, it looks super busy. I'd like to get a solid piece of something to go in there to block your eye a little bit. And I was thinking about, Michelle had said wood, but I immediately jumped to a piece of sheet metal to go over there that can be powder coated to match the benches.
And we could even magnetize it out so if you guys don't want it during the day.
I mean, we definitely want it. I think it would look a lot cleaner, and I don't necessarily like the spray painted black action here. It looks dirty. Yeah, we got to fix it. But after watching whoever it was, I think they posted show 143 on the Glass Academy Addicts page on Facebook. And watching that show, it was just you, me, Mom, and Marcy. And man, just like the energy and how much we've come, how far we've come along, and especially the shop, just looking at some of the equipment we had and the placement of everything. What a different time that was. So cool to look back like that.
It just keeps on getting tighter year over year.
Yes, it does.
Anybody want to take a guess at why I was working the paddle backwards? Put it in the chat, guys. I was holding it. I could hold it this way, but I decided to hold it this way.
Hold it in it?
Watch this one.
Uh-oh. Oh, someone's going to get some dirty handle juice on their goblet.
That's where my hands go, Chris.
I even smell it. It smells weird.
That's the only flat spot left on this paddle. And I'm talking about, check it out.
Oliver, would you mind?
See how it's wore out?
Funny.
So you don't get a perfect flat spot. So usually I just try to flip it to this side right here. But I kind of got a little crazy up here on the handle.
Beth, did Chris's goblet make it up on the website?
All right.
So I'm putting the final straightened touches on here, and we've talked a bit about color, so I'd like to point out up close and personal over here is the difference in, and we'll be able to show you on the members annealer reveal even better, but the difference in texture, not texture, but visual pattern of even the 00 having a little bit of spottiness up here versus down here once it's been encased like Michelle did on the bottom half of her glass. It really stretches the glass twice as far. It was the same amount of glass on that first gather, but the bottom being covered in a second layer of glass and then blown back out to the same thinness means that's half as much glass down there. And so by blowing it out thinner, trapping it in clear, you get a much smoother gradient of color, which for this instance is really nice. But sometimes you want the texture and the spottiness. If you're doing swirls and there's striations of color, you want to have that mojo.
Jeez, that's looking pretty nice.
Pretty tight.
Man.
Simple. I think my intention behind this year will be simplicity a little bit more. It might be. It's not decided yet, but
simplicity?
yeah, like
You
really
sure?
focusing on technique and making it simple and making it manageable
Clean.
and making it clean and not getting over the top and drawn out in the process.
Are you sure simplicity, or did you mean synchronicity?
Whoa. Depends on
One
who's
more time,
doing
Chris.
the
What was that word?
I
hardcore
said,
stuff.
sure. Are we sure simplicity or maybe synchronicity?
Synchronicity. It's a good word.
Using a lot of big words here.
Sync.
which cameras they like and why, because that's what we're testing.
All right, we're testing and calling for market research into what camera is your favorite angle.
Calling all our researchees.
Yep. Deposit that information in the chat.
We've got the ladder cam. We've got the chair cam. We've got the gimbal cam. That's
what?
3 gimbal cam. What other cameras do we have? We got 3?
Just 3.
Yeah, ladder, chair, gimbal.
Cam. This is going to be a tasty one.
Dave says, when does the wear on the paddle become too much and it goes to the glass boneyard?
When the paddle breaks in half in your hands.
Yeah.
You know,
And
Dave,
even then, you'll find it used for half a paddle.
Dave, that's a great excuse. And what I try to do, and I spend a lot of late night evenings in here casting some higher quantities of castings for specific clients that want maybe 100 of a certain casting that might be 5 inches by 5 inches. And I go in and grab the worst paddles. I never grab the tasty, brand new, nice flat paddle and destroy it by loading castings. So the paddle graveyard is intercepted prior to the death of a paddle by the casting experience.
But what about that one time I saw you doing a bunch of castings and you were holding a fresh paddle backwards, burning in the handle side only? What
Was
about that one time?
What? Is there a bus in the house? I don't have my bus on.
We're
my
going to
bus
get
shirt.
some metallic mojo upon the stem of this piece. You just saw it from that angle. Here it is from this angle. It's a darker purple. You got these beautiful scalloped bits of action down here, and this stem's going to become a little bit more metallic. There's not a ton of gold on there. It's just going to have a hint of simple, good action.
Iridescence.
Yeah. Don't talk, whatever you do.
Going for 2?
Yeah.
I would like to say that he's not putting a GA stamp on there, everybody. Everything has a GA stamp on it, but when we do stemware like this, and it's very simplistic, and
Whoa!
and there's not a lot of space on there for a stamp, so we put it on the bottom, right in the center where the punty mark is at. So that's what he's going for right now. While Oliver gets the forks, the goblet forks are something that's a necessity when you're putting cups away. Beautiful.
It's like pink.
I'll use this guy right here. Jake will give it the old squash when the time's right.
Not with too much pressure.
And I always tell everyone who's squashing stuff, make sure you heat it up hot enough that the stamp is recognizable. Look at that.
On your right.
Beautiful.
Also notice our beautiful knockoff sheet, folks. Just take a look at it. See if we can analyze the purples right now. Nope, a little too dark and deep and mysterious in there.
All right.
Nice, dude.
That one that does have a
Over the
little bit more
wall.
pink
She's
in it.
looking over the wall with the camera, folks.
All right. Shall we go over the table real quick? Can I say some things about a couple of the pieces? And Dad, you're getting ready for yours. So here, this one has some sort of mystery liquid. It's super sweet. All of these, we were such in a zone. This is the same kind of design and concept that I was trying to explain at the beginning of the show with Michelle's piece. Little extra action, something going on down here, a little bit thicker and heavier because of that. But up here, you've got that original bubble blown as thin as possible, and it makes for such good sipping. All of these are this thin. They're all super high quality blown pieces of drinkware. Here's another one that's super nice where your thickness has to be on the bottom because of all this color action going on. Look at that. The triple vortex super blaster. It's just super nice. And so these are one and dones. We're going to make a new style to be on the website that you can always buy sets of, but these are the original designees of 2025, and to have a one-and-done item, especially if you guys are from out of town and you can't always come into the gallery or meet us at the Renaissance Festival to pick out and hold each of yours on your own, I would highly suggest jumping on one of these as they're pretty well crafted. Number one's my total color palette, a hint of like light pink and then golds and tans and beiges. And then the other note that I'll say is number 8 is on the thicker, heavier side. If you want a taller, this could be a water glass, an everyday Sunset Arizona special glass. This one is a little on the bigger side, a little bit heavier to hold on to. Yes. Now here goes Chris somehow working into my brain and taking the mojo from the next piece I was about to make, which was going to be tall and skinny and exactly like this. So
Why didn't you draw it then?
there you go, folks. It's a good question.
Why didn't you draw it?
Should have. Gonna have to start beating him to the punch.
That is
That's my
called
favorite style.
high society gin and tonic.
That is my favorite
I just
thing in the
ripped
world.
it out of Jake's brain, everybody, just so you know. It was really like,
I was literally planning on doing it.
One thing I want to mention to you guys, just as an update, both pieces that have been made so far are available. The members only piece is also still available. So if you're a Loyalty League member and you liked that recycle piece that was made earlier, it's still available through the link in your email. And then the 2 pieces that have just been made open to the public are also available on our website. And I'll put that link in the chat for you guys.
Well, don't fret because we'll be making another one of those warmer upper pieces. I don't know why they'd fret. It's still available.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
Well, I'd like to do another one of those after this. I mean, I know it's goblet night, but I wanted to try one of the glass styles that Michelle made.
I did want to
Me
mention,
too.
too, surprise to everybody out there, that that flaming set of lips, I did put it inside the annealing oven. So that might show up someday down the road on the website for sale as the unbelievable, crazy set of flaming lips. The pumpkin lips? Oh my gosh, I totally remember that. Yeah, I mean, she made a set of really great lips and then put a big spike on them so we could just take and put them on a pumpkin and just jam them into the pumpkin, and they stuck on the pumpkin like Mr. Potato Head.
Okay.
It was perfect.
A glass Mr. Potato Head.
But you use them on a pumpkin or a gourd or what have
Yeah.
you. You could even use them on a potato. But that could be copyright infringement.
Whoa, Jake. What you pulling out all those for? What's going on? What do you think? You haven't started drawing yet, so what are you pulling those out for?
We'll see.
What
Okay.
were you pulling out? A bunch of tungsten bits?
Triple tungsten. I don't
At
need
the
to
same
draw it. I
time?
want to try making the one that you just made, Mom, in a different color with more bubbles in the bottom, and I want to try the lap gather and see what the deal is. I'll do it out of clear for sure. I do know what a bed of nails does, and we made them before when we originally designed one of our 12
Below Oliver.
experiences here at the Glass Academy that you could try glass blowing yourself. One of them is a strawberry, and the
Good.
pineapple mold.
One more little puff. Good.
This mold right here being the most difficult mold to use in glass blowing, you can get stuck in it super easily, is the way that we trap beautiful, symmetrical, small bubbles within the first layer of glass. And you can get stuck in that mold, and we were teaching classes, and we were getting stuck in that mold, and it was not a good thing for efficiency of time. So I did buy on Amazon at one time, you know, those like Japanese pots that you can put flowers in, and they have a little thing with a bunch of spikes down on the bottom.
Whoa.
Tree frogs.
Yeah, they're called frogs in the Florida industry.
Well, that's what they are, and I tried using
Harder?
those, and it didn't work.
Good.
And I don't know where they went. But that's the bed of nails idea. We also did, before buying those, we put a bunch of nails through a piece of wood and tried to do it too, but they just wasn't symmetrical enough. It wasn't as tight as using a pineapple mold. So
Back in the day, the saw C-clamp a saw on the front of the marver and you roll it across the saw blade.
Whoa.
And you could do it where you taper it so you get them going like that.
That's cool.
That's called the string of pearls.
Oh.
Jake, can you give me a paddle on this?
You want a cat back here?
Yes, please, Ollie.
Cabbage and squash.
Cabbage and squash, go for it.
Jake, you're using the wrong side of the paddle.
Blow.
I like to get all the way down to the final corner.
Harder. Good, off.
Yeah.
Blow.
Tight and crispy.
Good.
If I had to guess which purple that was,
That was the new one.
that's what I would have said.
But if you had to guess.
Eventually, we're going to be putting a rosette on the bottom of this, but not quite yet. But right now, I'll take a small gold bit, Oliver.
Is it going to be a Rosetta, or is it going to be like frills of a Renaissancean outfit?
It's going to be Rosettia.
Because that looks like frills, and that would be pretty decadent.
I should thrill it up.
Yeah, the half twist
All right.
with white and gold maybe or something, so it looks like one of these.
I'm sticking with the traditional gold and perps.
All right,
I think all the cups we do tonight should be gold and perps.
maybe.
I don't even know why I pulled out a blue today.
Yeah, what the heck, Oliver?
All right, what else we got going in the chat, Matt?
So a couple people have commented on the camera angles they like.
take it. One
Carrie
coating's gonna
says
be
that
good.
ladder cam is such a cool overview. Let's see here. I have to scroll up a little bit. There's been a lot happening. Okay, there we go. I like the camera on the chair and the normal one. The gimbal cam is my favorite. Somebody should wear a GoPro. I think my favorite camera angle is the gimbal. So a good mixture of what angles people like, which is cool.
We have thought about
I feel like a GoPro would be a lot. It's a lot of movement.
I wonder if we start to do something like have a stream-specific knockoff tray and thing that we put right in there that says the gathering point or something, and we don't use it every day, but we could grind that one out, clean it all up and polish it, and then that's just for the show, and it's nice stainless steel and, you know, maintained. Yeah. Kind of like that idea.
What are we talking about?
Cleaning up one of our knockoff trays and using it just for the show. So
That'd
we're
be
not
cool.
looking at a bunch of dirty, nasty goo.
Get some stainless ones, press broke up.
Yeah.
I like that.
We'd have to be careful not to get will it burn sugarness in there.
Yeah, absolutely not. Keep it away from the Will It Burn station.
On, Ollie. Press.
I'm gonna go grab that other glass that this one was based off of.
Good. All right, take a perp's foot. All right, so I'm really trying to focus on proportions with these pieces, guys. And I think a part of it that has to do with, I just blew so much big glass today that it seems easier to blow small stuff for some reason. Just everything's looking real delicate, really proportioned well. Look at that. Ooh-wee. When did I make that one?
Show 293. We pulled it from the inventory to save it to make a gin and tonic glass for a special G&T night at the Michigan Room. Has anybody
That's gonna
done
be
speed
plenty.
dating before?
Just give me 1 second, Ollie.
We want to know.
Such a random question.
We want to do an event here. Fantasy speed dating and glass blowing.
Okay. Well, let me take a flash, Oliver.
Yeah,
I'm just letting
I
it
would
round
be a
out.
part of it. For sure. Speed dating at the Michigan Room. Grab a drink. Well, try glass blowing first. Grab a drink, grab a partner.
Watch glass blowing,
Yeah, be inspired. Have conversation. Oh yeah, beautiful drop here. Chris is gonna straighten that up right on center, and he's gonna go to Squish Town with that double-sided wooden squishing device.
Do they sell those on Amazon?
Nope.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You just gotta look that up exactly. Double-sided wooden squishing device.
Hold on one
Cherry
second.
wood specific.
Okay, on. Good.
Anybody been watching any good TV recently, other than The Gathering Point?
Project Runway.
Project Runway. I've been trying to get through the second season of Squid Games.
Oh yeah.
I haven't
You
watched
watched that
any
yet?
of that.
No nightmares though, right?
Oh no, I can only watch one episode, and it has to be so long before bed. That show stresses me out, dude. Squid Games.
I've been watching Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders is a hitter.
Good one. Yeah.
I've been watching
Sometimes
The
I need the
Preacher.
subtitles, though,
The
so I know what
Preacher's
they're
pretty
saying.
good too. Real good.
Preacher.
The Preacher.
Yeah, we had the subtitle conversation a couple episodes
Did we?
ago, didn't we?
I was watching this other show called Pantheon. It was like 8 episodes.
You bring me that
And it was
small
all
funny.
about AI and like cool stuff. And I thought it was gonna be totally up your alley, Jake. During the first 4 episodes, I almost texted you and like told you to watch it, and I thought I should finish it first. And I finished it, and I was like, no, never mind, not up Jake's alley at all. It pivoted so hard halfway through.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, hey, never got that call.
It was good though. I liked it. It was just I was like, probably not for Jake anymore.
I watched more TV after us just talking about not watching TV that much during that week off. I watched more TV in that week than I probably did all of last year.
Heather says
Just
she's
all
been
curve.
watching the Detroit Lions kick butt on TV.
Heck yeah! And we know that's not just a local sentiment. We know that's America's team, folks.
Jerry Goff. Jerry Goff. I mean, go Red Wings. That's not, now that we're talking about the Red Wings, everybody. 7 in a row. Let's go, boys.
Seriously.
I'm going on the 27th to the game.
Who are they playing?
The Kings.
On the 22nd,
27th.
27th.
I'm seeing a question come in from Hannah asking, when you blow, do you have to maintain a steady pressure of air, or will it be an issue if you can't maintain the same amount of pressure? And I
When?
would say that that's one that you do have to be able to maintain a steady pressure in some cases, but it always changes. When you're first trying to blow a bubble into the piece, if you don't have a bubble started, it takes a lot of pressure. It's like blowing up a balloon. But as that piece gets more and more air and those walls get thinner and thinner, it's easier to expand it out while it's hot. But it completely changes. As the glass gets colder, you need to add more pressure. If it's thicker, you need more pressure.
And it's kind of like anything in glass blowing. You should never be pushing as hard as you can to do something.
But also, like, it depends on who you're working with. Like, Chris asking for, like, a lot of air is different than you asking for a lot of air. It's different than Matt asking for a lot of air.
Absolutely.
You kind of have to know who you're assisting.
Yep. 100%.
Mary says, I can't wait to compare Chris's purple glass up against Jake's purple glass. They just found a new home.
Yeah.
What
Who's
happened?
that, Mary?
Yep,
Sounds like she might have copped the both of them
she did.
so that she can analyze them in person herself.
Well, for anyone who's not Mary, if you need to analyze those as well, your best bet's the Anila reveal.
Yeah. Become a member today. Like we mentioned in the beginning, we now have a personal liaison, concierge, super conscious,
Concierge.
amazing person.
Cha-cha-cha-chia.
Her name is Lizzie. And she's going to be taking Michelle's information and bottling it up and sending it out to you guys in the most palatable experience that you can imagine. And if you haven't already said hi to her or responded to an email, if you guys have questions about her or the membership or what's up and coming, anything like that, you can reach out to her through your ClickFunnels account. And if you're interested in becoming a member today at the beginning of the new year and supporting a small business in our educational entertainment super stream here out of Dearborn, Michigan, then I'm sure Bess could maybe toss the link right in the chat.
I can.
She's like, yeah, I can do that.
The only reason I said it like that is because half the time you're usually ahead of me and already have it done, so I didn't want to like ask if it had already been done.
No, the QR code is just up on the screen, but the link's not in the chat.
Puff and
I can do
rip.
that.
All right. Double whammy never hurt.
Annette says, what did everyone do on their week off?
Let me start by saying, Oliver, did you buy some new pants?
Did I buy new pants? No, these are just bottom of the pile pants. I don't like this coat that much. I don't wear it all that often, but I decided to switch it up and wear these for a little bit.
I think those are tight.
So Oliver does not do laundry.
I did a bunch of laundry. I've done so much laundry this week. I got 3 of the same style of pants. You guys see the 2 that I wear all the time.
This is just a different color?
This is just a different color. Yeah, I got them in 3 different colors.
Well, that's kind of what happens to a lot of clothes that I don't 100% fall in love with, is they become shop items. And I still love them, but I don't, adore them.
I don't know. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what,
Whatever you
Jake, will you bring me a Rosetta
yes.
for that size right there?
Yep.
Gold.
Caught a cold. Watch Project Run.
Recouped and recovered.
Chris, what did you do?
I blew glass every day.
I rearranged all the artwork in my home with my amazing sister's help and artistic eyeball.
Just one artistic eyeball. It's the
Just
right
one.
Lucy the Cyclops.
And honestly, the home looks completely different. Lucy's been staying with me all month, and to take a couple, like your couch and then a
One
couple
coat's good.
bookcases and move them to the left and the right and then swap around a picture or two, I feel like I'm walking into a brand new home. It's cool. Very, very good experience.
I engraved
up
all
with
the
it when you come
Michigan
out.
room plaques this week. That's what I did with my time not here. It was weird not being here, especially like Thursday, Friday night, which are my normal nights here. I mean, obviously Tuesday for the show, but I had a solid 2 weeks off of here, which was super weird because I
Super
wasn't
weird.
here the week before. I was in Philly visiting family, and then I wasn't here because we were off on break. So it was weird to just not even walk in here to do anything. But I did a lot of laundry until my dryer broke.
Nice.
Relaxing and engraving the Michigan room plaques.
Nice.
That was my week.
That's right. I should show some of those off.
They're a little fingerprinty.
Yeah, we'll wipe them down.
Okay. Michelle says after this piece, we will do housekeeping.
In my world, aside from doing a lot of laundry and finding an old, new favorite pair of pants, we also, Kayla and I, my fiance, adopted a puppy this past week. We have a 12-year-old French bulldog. Kayla's cousin had a litter, and we were able to adopt one, and we got a new furry animal in the family.
Nice.
He's
You're
a
gonna have to
cutie.
send some pics.
Reduction.
We can. Yeah, I guess we could probably.
You
throw
could
some-
probably slack Bess a couple of those in between this piece.
Slack
I
it to
can-
Batch Gallery and I can get it up.
to Batch Gallery. You got it.
I'll let you get the glamour shot, and then I'll go over these. Awesome.
I had a schedule on. So if it's the giveaway after housekeeping, not sure.
So, it was at 50, wasn't it? All right, the moment of truth here. Oh, is my mic off or on?
Take that from you.
Beautiful.
Excuse me.
Damn.
Talk.
Beautiful, beautiful.
You're on.
I'm going for the forks.
A little torchy poo. Look at that beautiful purple, that new purple. And this is the perfect gin and tonic glass, seriously, with a bunch of small ice cubes. And I dig it with a little half tonic, half soda, so it's not just a sugar blast to your face. Regular, kind of like square ones. But if there was some kind of cube machine that could make a bunch of little perfect little pellets, like Dippin' Dots, or like even a little bigger, like marbles, that'd be pretty cool. A bunch of marble ice cubes. It's a serious collection we got in there.
Oh, yeah.
All
That's
right,
a
you
nice
show those
one.
up on the Slack best.
In here we have, bam. I'm just random pulling some names here to show you. They're a little fingerprinty, but look at beautiful gold plaques. Maria, Steve Gross, Icarus, Lori. You guys are all in there. If you're a subscribed member, if you're a paying subscribed member, or if you donated or were a part of any sort of crowdfunding action during our Michigan Room Evolution event, you've had a plaque made for yourself, and we still have to decide where these are going to be going, how we're going to implement them into the room, and other opportunities for people. Still have about 80 plaques purchased that we could get your name on.
Sounds
in the future.
beautiful. I love it.
Housekeeping.
I'm getting puppy pictures.
20.
Yes. So, hello everyone. I am glad to be back. I feel like it's been a while since we've talked because there were recorded shows. There was a recorded show for Christmas Eve that I wasn't on, and then I wasn't here for the show after that, which was New Year's Eve. So it's been a couple of weeks. It's nice to be back. Question for last week. If you guys remember, it is not an actual piece we are giving away this week, but it is a wonderful $125 gift card. So our question was, what is your go-to drink or snack while ringing in the new year? There's a lot of really cool stuff on here. I might need a copy of this list for some good ideas for like appetizers and things like that. Of course, we've got our classic margaritas and chips and salsa on here. Let's see, we do lobster every New Year's Eve. Fancy, I like it. Let's see here, Jack Daniel's Neat and Clam Dip. I want to know what clam dip involves. We've got homemade Chex Mix, hot cheesy artichoke dip, one of my favorites. Yeah, there is. Fudgesicles. Let's see here. I'm going to flip the Fudgesicles.
They must be in Florida. There's no way I can get that in winter.
Is this a wintertime snack?
This was what's your go-to drink or snack while bringing in the new year?
Drink. I heard Chex Mix.
Well, drink or snack. There's snacks in there too.
Oh, gotcha.
Of course, there's a lot of champagnes. It said if I drink alcohol, it would be coconut rum with pineapple juice on ice and my beautiful blue goblet made by Chris. Very specific. I like it.
Wow.
Yes. Pear juice and ginger on crushed ice with a slice of pear. I call it What's a Pear.
That is a good one, too.
Very cool. Our winner said sparkling apple cider because I am always working. That's fair?
Yeah.
So our $125 gift
boy.
certificate goes to Karen.
Karen,
So congratulations,
let's get it.
Karen. You're going to get an email for that from Donna this week, so keep an eye out at your email. I was going to say you don't have to pay for shipping because you have nothing to pick up. It's just going to be a virtual code that gets emailed to you. You can use it on product, you can use it on classes, whatever you'd like. Our question for this week is, do you have any tattoos? So if you do, what style are they or what are they? If you don't, are you wanting one? Is there an idea you already have in mind? If you don't, is it something that you're just not into? Is there something holding you back? Let us know. You're going to send your answer to enews@glassacademy.com. Make sure you put your answer and your name in the email so we know who you are, and you might happen to win whatever we decide to make for a giveaway this week.
Sounds great.
Any other housekeeping, Michelle?
No.
Nice and light week this week. It's freezing. There's a draft right here. I don't know if you can see the tablecloth moving. Oh, the fan too. I was gonna say you can see the tablecloth moving, and I was like trying to wrap my
Remember what
sweatshirt
numbers.
around me. So,
All right.
back to you guys.
Come on over here. We got some things to show off.
That's fine.
With a great suggestion from Hannah. The almost completed bar top. You want to tell them about it, Dad?
Yeah. Here, let's put my little guy in here. But that's the lit, really sweet plexiglass that we've got going down the middle, a 5.5-inch strip. And we acquired that from my brothers, just happened to have it amazing in their warehouse. They're like, oh, we think we have the perfect piece of plexiglass for you. But we lit this purposely with some LEDs in the middle of this walnut. bar top, and it's all coming together. The only thing that's going to finish the top is going to be the sealer. We're waiting for that sealer, this Nano 3 ceramic sealer. It's got a transparent, super hardcore sealer, so we get to see the beautiful wood. So everything's going to look gorgeous on it, and I just tell you, I can't believe how nice the glass looks on here.
So amazing.
And every one of the drinks, like Jake's been telling you for a long time, is going to be served in its one-of-a-kind signature glass. So people are going to be able to set their cups on the bar top and check it out and see what's going on. They're all looking really good. We got the traditional waffle. Look at this guy.
Well, they're all ambers right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, we're in the amber spectrum zone.
Spectrum zone.
I'm not going to touch any of those because I don't know what numbers they are, but I know what number this one
I know what
is.
numbers they are. I got it.
I saw pictures of the bar
After you.
this week, and it looked fantastic on pictures. And I just wanted to say, like, even in person, it's mind-blowing how amazing this turned out, because it's even better than the pictures I saw.
Well,
So,
thank you, Beth. That's
fantastic
amazing.
job.
Looks great. I'm super excited about it, and it's still just got a few more things, but we're almost done. Got that beautiful new kick rail on the bottom. I'd like to say it's new, but it's pretty old. It came out of the traditional old-school double olive. You know, kudos to Joe Aegis, the ex-owner of the Double Olive. He hooked us up with that. But it's coming along, guys. So Jake's gathered up some molten glass here. He's going to do a spin-off style of the piece that Michelle did. He's going to do the bubble trap action.
And I've already got 3 or 4 other awesome ideas for the bubble trap technique. Well, this one will be the bubble trap, but I mean, if we were to do whatever we're going to call this, the lap gather cup with that thickness on the bottom, that's going to speed up the process of encasing those and doing some really cool patterns. I mean, I want to do like a basket weave and then dunk on top of it, see how that affects it.
I've got that one gold brown amber, now that we're hot on ambers, basket weave with the dot pattern on it.
Yeah.
In our kitchen in the cupboard, and that thing needs to go into production. That is such a beautiful cup. It didn't even make it out of the annealer. I snatched it.
Just so technical, and there's such a low success rate on those.
Right.
So difficult.
Well, you got to grab them when you see them, folks.
Exactly.
So he's blowing air into the blowpipe, capping it with his thumb. He's going to get a real nice air pocket in the glass, and the moisture in his breath actually expands the glass from the steam in his breath, just like when you take your breath and you blow on the mirror in the bathroom and you write the heart
Just like when that
to
happens.
tell your mom you love her when you're leaving her house when you're 48 years old.
Nice.
We had a question on the Facebook side of things. I believe it was from Linda. I could be wrong on that.
Linder.
Asking, you know, we were showing off the bar, asking, do we own the bar? Like, do we own the building? Because it would be a shame to leave behind all this work put into the bar and if we ever decide to switch buildings.
I'd
Yes.
say.
And we do own this building, so this is all ours. So we're not worried about leaving that bar behind. We're not going anywhere anytime soon unless we franchise and start 30 new locations coming near you 2026. But
Watch
that's
out.
future plans.
That's right.
We're just
Dad,
going to
would you
town
cap
on this
it?
guy.
Yep.
We're just going to town.
Yep.
That'd be a cool question, you guys. If you could have a glass academy in
Good.
your town, where do you think the best place for it to be would be? Now remember, it's got to be a pretty decent sized town. It can't be like a very small town with a small population, because we need a lot of people in our area. But put that in the chat. It'd be pretty sweet. I'd love to see one in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh for sure.
So look at that. He's got, hold that right there, Jake. He's got all those sweet little bubbles in there, and hopefully they're going to trap some air when he goes in and does a lap gather.
One will see.
We had another question come in about, excuse me, man. Don't know what's going on with my voice. Another question came in asking, basically, if they missed a live show, where can they watch this show in the future? And if you are wondering about that, full videos of these live shows are posted on YouTube right after we're done recording, so make sure you're checking out the YouTube channel. at the gathering point. And then we got more shows coming down the pipeline, so just make sure you're checking it all out.
Oh my God, it's lovely.
Oh, I see the bubble.
Just how we chalked it up, folks.
That bubble's intense, dude.
Let's talk about what's going on.
Put that one on the highlight reel rolling.
Wait, Jake, you can stuff it in that mold right now if you hurry.
I mean, I'll just heat it up and squish the bottom, and maybe it'll be a little shot glass.
It'll be a little shot, be a little 5-pound shot glass.
Too thin, and that's what it was.
Why don't you make that the giveaway? What?
Take that.
So
you know
it was
what?
so thin that you went to lap gather it, it just fell apart on you.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll it back into shape real quick.
I'll tell a real quick story here while he's rolling it back into shape, folks. But my mom has a piece of mine in her collection that was one of the very first pieces I ever blew when I was in school. And it was just like what Jake just did. I took a gather, and the whole piece melted and went into a big ball of goo. I had no control at all, except that it started falling, so I let it hit the ground, and then I just stood there and let it freeze up, and I put it in the annealing oven, and I diamond saw the top off and polished it and made a vase out of it. And she has that piece, and I looked at it a couple of weeks ago. I was over there, and I was just like, oh my God, this thing is one of the very first pieces I ever did, and it was just out of control. It's like that's what happens, you know, on the learning curve of glass. Even Jake, me, Oliver, now being the professional glass people we are, you could go in and gather the molten glass onto your existing mass of glass just a few seconds too early, and that mass will collapse the whole piece that you have on the pipe, like it just did for Jake. And it's like, it happens once in a while, and that kind of comes with the territory. It'd be nice if we could say that every piece we make comes off the pipe and looks perfect, but it doesn't.
A follow-up question for you then on that, Chris, is with your early work, if you go back and you see some of your early work, you ever get a chance to look back on some of that, is there like, are you usually pretty understanding of where you were, or are you like a little bit embarrassed of like this was like the first couple I ever did, this isn't the quality that I uphold myself to now, or are you like, no, it's my first 10, these are really good for my first 10?
I'm never embarrassed by it because you're on the journey the whole time, you know, and you're learning, and whatever stage you're in with any facet, especially with technical craft stuff, it's all a beautiful part of the journey.
Yeah.
So Jake's really getting this one a nice mix-up.
Yeah, look at that.
He's really trying to get a good color combination. What? Is that a purple tear? Well, we got enough time for one more of those sculptural globs if you want to try for it.
Yeah, the next one's giveaway.
That's it? It's the giveaway?
No. You got time.
Let me make sure we got more green pipes up.
Just take it easy, Jake. Could you zoom in on him, Michelle?
I wouldn't even like worry, Jake. It's not like we have someone who's going to edit this 12 months later into a highlight reel for everyone to be reminded of this happening to you.
Highlight reel is like a double conundrum phrase or whatever, because you know he's going to be capturing our low lights too.
It's going to be the noise. It's going to be wah, wah, wah. And Jake's going to have a
Both
tear.
of them just dripping off the end of the pipe.
Roland, we're giving you some ideas.
Be like falling and then scoop back up.
It's just not cool, but to be technical and legitimate about what just happened was the second time around, I switched up the color pattern, and I was going to explain to you all, and especially to Frank, who asked the question at the beginning of the show, the difference in color thickness. I used a much larger grain white because I'm going to go for the super swirl and then put purple on top of it. So you're going to see those larger granules spun all the way up into this piece. And if you check out in the hole here, this will be the way we mix the color pattern. The old drip and swirl. but keep turning as it's almost falling off. The only trick is after that sweet swirl, when I went to the marver on the last one, I tried to rush through the second attempt and just shape it up and blow the bubble right into it. But when you've got these color density spots in different areas all over the glass, it's going to blow out really wonky and funky based on where the thickness in the color lands. So instead of blowing it out right now, I need to take one more heat, marver it one more time, put that grape skin on the outside, and then I can blow it out. No hurry.
Now, what if you like just blew it out super thin? And
That's
then
what I
just
did the first time.
Superheated it back up.
Like the last one?
Kinda.
The last one was paper thin. I went to reheat it, and that's when it did the crumbolini move.
Oh, Italian for crumbolini?
Italian for crumble, the best kind of pie.
That's your favorite kind of pie? A crumble? Okay.
Absolutely.
Key lime pie is my favorite kind of pie. I have Oliver's dog pictures ready whenever we're ready to show those.
Ruh-roh.
So everyone prepare yourselves. You're not ready for it.
Are we ready?
Okay. Oliver, would you give me one light puff?
Yeah.
Nothing too ravenous here. Beautiful. So check that pattern out. See how you can see all those little grains moving around? If we just used a transparent and used a really tiny pattern, grain pattern, you'd never see that change in color.
All right, so I've got two dog pictures I'm going to show you. This is Oliver and Kayla's new cute little guy. You said his name was Otis Oliver?
Otis, yes.
Look at those ears.
A little chunker.
He's a cutie,
He's
man.
a little something or other.
He's a cutie.
Lots of new life in the Glass Academy family, that's for sure.
So, Jake, somebody asked how the kitten is.
Incredible. And Lucy's two cats are over as well, and they're all just a little family of cuddling little creatures. It's really an incredible experience.
For everyone looking at their TV being like, wow, that puppy is so cute, that's my life.
Oh, you're so lucky. Lucky duck. Did you poke at the bottom or no?
No. Still caught a bubble, though. And I did kind of like this, like, squared up look. It was kind of like the bases of those sake glasses.
It feels so good in your hand. Just know.
The gin and tonic glass that was just made is available.
When you have a color pattern like this and then the clear lap gather over top, you're going to get all this cool magnification. Like as you get through like the sharp flat spots that Jake's putting in with the Taglia right now, and then all the curvature that the glass naturally wants to be in, it's going to look like, what are those crazy mirrors that they have at like fairs for like kids to go up
The
to?
distortion mirrors?
Yeah, what do they actually call those? The funhouse mirror. Yeah, it's gonna look like a funhouse mirror effect on the color pattern.
I think we just took it to the station.
What type of station?
The magnification station, baby. That was good.
You got set up
I
for
was
that
like,
one.
Is he setting me up like that?
You're
Is
so
he
set
doing
him
this
up.
on purpose? That was good.
Is this the giveaway? Or is this...
No, Chris has a plan for the giveaway.
Okay.
Yep. We still have 20 minutes left.
And I
Mom.
have
You ready for
15%
the
on my
punty?
iPad.
If the iPad does explode, folks, then we will go.
So the iPad, I don't know
Let's do it,
why,
Oliver.
but when... okay, the power cord was not working properly, so when we came in to set up for the
Michelle's
show,
claiming
it
there
was
was a power cord thief,
at 1%.
a gremlin.
A gremlin. So that being said, when I started to finally set up for the show, I set up as late as I possibly could. My iPad was only at 50%. So we've got 15% left, which, in case you guys don't know how my setup works over here, the iPad is kind of my hub. It's where I run my graphics out of. It's how I switch camera angles. It is how I put Oliver's adorable puppy up on the screen. It is how we are live right now. So if the iPad dies, the live may go down. Just so you guys have a heads up.
Sorry.
My backup plan is we can attempt to use Michelle's phone to bring the live back up. So if the live goes down, that is what happened. The iPad died. Heads up, when the show is done, we're all going to gather and we're going to look at the ladder and we're going to do the ladder and
Okay. Ooh. So what I'm noticing with this and trying to look through that clear ice cube action into the Perp Super Swirl is that using the Taglia, the metal tool, to flatten those spots, what a beautiful shot that is. It leaves a metal chill mark on the exterior surface. I was trying to torch away some of that, but perhaps it needs to be done with wood, or perhaps the timing needs to be different. It's not going to go away, but corks potentially, yep. Thanks, Oliver.
Loyalty League members, the member-only piece at the beginning of the show, which was very similar to this, just a different color pattern, is still available, just so you guys know. So if you're liking the style of glass...
Which one is?
The Loyalty League member piece is still available, and it's similar style.
One,
yes.
The OG design.
Yes.
And remember that everything made on the show is going to get signed with the show number, this obviously being 301.
Maybe not obviously.
Right.
Oh, I wish I could have got you those new duck bills.
I know, you saw them.
Oh, yeah, the new duck bills, guys. I'm going to have to show those off.
Show them off. They're a little big for this piece. I think they might be good for mugs.
They feel like they're giving my hand a massage when I put them on.
Well, that's a good tool. We don't use plastic around here.
Okay, I've seen these online, but I've never really seen them in person. So tell me about what a duck bill is good for.
Well, a duck bill pair of shears is really good for, they're really made for production. If you're doing a lot of trimming, every piece you're trimming because it's in exactly the same size. And the point of it is the tips don't go together. Because when you use a pair of shears like these to trim, you have to keep it in the crotch of this part right here. Do you see that, Oliver?
See that right there. Get right in there.
The crevice.
Yeah.
Pam would like to know the names of the creatures at your house, Jake.
If what?
Pam would like to know the names of the creatures at your house. I can't see. What are they? Elmo. Elmo and Okra are Lucy's cats. And then LB is Jake's kitten.
Oh.
These are super cool.
Those are a frickin' sweet glass. Those are some sippers right there.
They got also it'd be a really cool design for a votive candle.
Yeah.
With that optic shining through it.
That's
real nice.
Sweet.
Kind of reminds me of an iceberg at the bottom.
It kind of seems natural, like a volcanic glass. Like if we did them in reds and oranges, we could do some sort of like volcano drink.
He's big enough to get around.
I think that these are an incredible product for the bar.
Oh, think about how the underlight would come up and catch.
Big time. It'd be blinging and bouncing.
Jake, when are we going to start filming the Needler reveal after 10 p.m.? Just so we can have like the good underlighting.
You know what else is a good idea I was just thinking we could do, everybody, is we could make glass spheres that we put in the freezer.
Yeah.
Instead of granite, and then you could put your bourbon in there or whatever, and it keeps it cold but doesn't melt and water it down.
Rock.
Yeah.
Frozen rock.
Exactly. Well, you better take care of some maintenance items while I get the giveaway going.
I was hoping you were going to start. Still a lot of wine glasses on the table. I know we don't always pull them directly off the table, and I know people like to purchase throughout the week. A lot of people watch the show after the fact, but I'm telling you guys, it's rare that we have a selection of such functional, everyday super items. Take advantage of it while you can. I'm just going to wrangle this here.
Thank you, everybody, for the comments about the puppy. I appreciate it.
Hannah says those glasses would be cool in Aurora colors.
Could be cool. What?
In Aurora colors.
Oh my goodness. Purples and blues and
That'd be cool. Some green in there.
murky
Yeah.
brown. I don't know if there's any murky brown in the
I don't think
Aurora
so.
lights, but hey.
In yours, there are.
I think I'm just gonna try to make a after dinner liqueur glass, and maybe would it be proper in saying a nano glass? Is it nano small?
Micro.
I am working with the same perps.
Now's a great opportunity when the bell rings, which I did ring it myself, to remind you guys that it costs nothing to subscribe or like the feed that you're watching right now if you haven't already, or drop a comment in here and spread it around to the people you know. We really appreciate all that support. We love doing what we do. Obviously, it's show 301 right now. But if you like what you're seeing and you learned something today, if you laughed one time, if you're enjoying the growth you've seen and the team that we have, you know, just go ahead, subscribe, and set up your notifications, ring the bell. Oh, I ring the bell?
Is it really 301? I thought.
Yeah.
Wasn't 301 the?
Pre-recorded recap video?
Uh-huh.
That's not a
We
show,
don't
that's a
count
recap
that.
video.
That doesn't count.
But I will say, and we talked about it today, we're planning on, as we've mentioned many times before, getting a little more disciplined with our monthly show plan. And that being, and because of us hiring a couple new staff that will have some focus on this, being able to work as a team and plan multiple shows ahead has helped a ton. But we're planning on, and you could write this down and hold us to it,
Whoa now.
or you could not. But those are your two options.
Blow.
And
Blow.
the first of the month, folks, is going to be Goblet Show every month. That's been
Good.
the plan. We haven't been able to stick to it, but we've tried. The second of the month is going to be the charity show.
Blow.
Once a month, we'll do
Blow.
a give back. We'll do a collaboration with some organization like we've done many times before and do a portion of the proceeds of that show back to them.
Good.
The third week is the Artistic Inspiration Show, which is correct, right?
Who knows anymore, Jake? Who knows?
What is going on?
We've been talking about the now artistic
AI
inspiration
show.
show for like the last 7 weeks, I would think. And almost every time Jake brings it up, he calls it a different name.
Hello?
And I think it's so funny.
Well, that's what it is, folks, and it doesn't stand for artificial intelligence, but we might use it in the inspiration for these shows. But we've mentioned it before. It'll be inspired by another medium of art or something else in nature or in life, and that will prompt us to design pieces of drinkware or whatever other piece we might want to work on during that show. It'll keep things fresh and really exciting. And ideally, if we have those other pieces of artwork included in the show with us, then there'll be a package deal with the pieces we sell on that show. So that's exciting. And then the fourth of the month was what?
What was it?
Experimental show.
We're bringing back
Blow,
in
Oliver.
2025 the experimental
Keep
show.
going.
We did that as a bonus show on a different day
Keep
for
going.
almost all of 2024, and or whoever knows when it was, but we're going to bring that back. We're going to come into that show with the plan to not be making, not even necessarily be thinking about any final product, but to experiment with new designs, kind of like Michelle started the show off with, And if we come across some kind of golden idea or item, then we will run with that item and make it happen. But we've had a lot of people mention before, and we enjoy as well that design and creation process and letting you guys get a peek into how things are put together and, you know, created and designed and tinkered with. And there's a few products we have out on the website now and products that we highlight on the show that you guys saw the beginning of, starting with the slug. You saw the snail come around. You saw the gnomes come around over the last 3 years, amongst whatever else we've kind of figured out over the past few years.
We figured out so many things. I mean, you just watched us figure out the sheep.
The sheep we really dove into, and we do have a yearly creature coming up. I'm not going to release what it is. It's not 100% decided yet. The boss hasn't confirmed, but if you do have an amazing suggestion
That we're feeling pretty strongly about,
put it in the chat. Starts with T, ends with ERT.
Oliver, you bring me a bit?
and it sounds like Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Dave says if you inspire Chris, the inspiration show will become the Jumbo Show.
Yeah,
What happened?
we'll have to keep our sizes in check. Some barriers. What'd you say?
I'm
All right, here comes something.
Putting it
This
right
is gonna
on
be
the-
the giveaway.
Putting it right on the bottom, Oliver, like an Avolio, straight on.
If you guys haven't already subscribed and all
Flip.
the other stuff I talk about, the least you
I
can
need
do
more
is
glass than
enter
that.
yourself to win this item for next week's show. We'll take the final piece of this show as we do every week. The final piece is the giveaway item. You enter to win by sending the answer to the question of the week, which is, do you have any tattoos? I think that's prompted by Lucy and I getting our new tattoos. And you send that to enews@glassacademy.com. And we'll combine all those emails. We'll randomly select a winner, and we'll release it on next
We're gonna
week's
need
show.
some bits, Oliver.
Another one?
How about a punny?
Ooh. Get creative tonight. I think that tonight's been a really beautiful welcome back for sure, but mesh of simple design and what we know how to do, pushing the limits a little bit and doing some new creative techniques and styles. I think we've hit all the points on this show. We've got a beautiful anneal reveal coming up. Probably gonna have to get Robin, our shipping queen, involved on this anneal reveal. We're gonna start alternating them each week between Robin and Oliver and I being a part of the anneal reveal.
I like Robin on the anneal reveals. I like her thoughts on a lot of the products.
I think we're always surprised by the opinion of the non-glass blower. And I think it's cool to have on the anneal reveal, I agree. And then Robin's in a whole nother, realm of her own, since Robin has been around since the beginning of the live shows, if I do say so myself.
And Robin, if it ships out the door, Robin sees it. Like,
Yeah.
Robin sees everything we make.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So she does have a wealth of knowledge through watching and the expertise of watching the shows, but also holding the products and seeing the results of them, and then the snippets and tidbits that she gets from talking with us and asking questions. And Robin's one of those people, if we come out with a new design of product or we got a whole cart full of glass that was made the day before and we're really excited about it, I always call Robin over right when she gets in and I'm like, yo, come take a look at this. You got to check this out, Robin.
And Robin says, yo, let me see that.
Robin's like, let me check that out.
I'm gonna
It's a
need
nice
3
thing.
handles that are only like that big each out of clear, Oliver, after I open this up.
You got that.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Should I bring that on mini punnies?
Sure.
Carol says purple is a sign of new beginnings. Perfect color for the first show of 2025.
Beautiful.
Oh, you're taking it. Oh, okay.
Stay. Okay, another one.
Ready?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but over our week break, I posted an Instagram reel, and it had some music behind it, but it also, I left the sound up a little bit on the video so you guys could hear all of the different sound effects while they were making a piece. It was that picture video. I don't know about you. I found the video super relaxing. I probably let it run a couple of times, but let us know what you think about those kind of videos.
Ready?
Yep.
In case you missed it, this is the giveaway piece, which let me tell you, for start of 2025, this is a heck of a giveaway piece. And the question, one more time for you guys, is do you have any tattoos? If so, what are they? What inspired them? Or what style are they? If not, do you intend on getting any? If you do, is there something holding you back? Yeah, send your answer to that question to enews@glassacademy.com with your answer and your name in the email. And
So
then
I don't think anyone's going to guess what this is.
I think it's a cup.
Bess, you got it in one. Holy.
What did you say it
You
was?
said it was a cup.
This is, the top of this is exactly a replica of a Glencairn tasting glass. And this is an intergalactic Glencairn glass. Look at that.
Intergalactic.
Is it sealed off in between?
Yes.
That's sealed off between the two bubbles there?
Yep.
That handle work is incredible, by the way.
Thank
Dang.
you. Just trying to equalize the heat in the handles. What do you think of the intergalactic Glencairn glass?
That's a heck of a giveaway.
That is a heck of a giveaway. And that's the new purple, the old purple.
New purple.
I've been watching a new show called The Gilded Age. And it's about like the late 1800s, and they're all like super rich, and they got the new people and the old people in New York. Exactly. Yep. And this is a pimpin' piece with the new purple. I'll fork it, Oliver.
Okay.
Can
Only
I
you
get
got
one
this-
in this show?
If you only got the steady hands for the job.
Oh, baby.
She came off.
Damn, I'll
That
take
thing's delicate. That's a delicate sipper.
That was good handwork between us, passing off that torch and punny.
I was trying to figure it out. It worked perfectly.
Look at this sweet fork.
It's got the grabbers.
Am I even going to be able to get around it?
Oh, yeah. Just be gentle setting her in there. Or taking them out, you know what I mean? So you don't knock her.
Oh, hey there. Oh, she scared me.
That is a purple box. We didn't plan on having the full purple show, but that is tight.
Yeah.
There we go.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
That's a wrap.
Oliver. Excuse me. Good work.
I want to thank you all. Oh, you can't hear me.
I'll stand close to you.
Hey, you guys.
Gotcha.
Thank
I'm
you
on this
for
301.
being here.
There's
You
Bess.
can see yourself.
Amazing show.
Thanks, Roland, for the new point of perspective.
The ladder cam. I like it.
LC.
All
We'll
right,
see you guys next week. Show 302.